by Giant FM and streaming live on the First Federal Facebook page.
Well, it's a chilly morning, that's for sure. It is time for the First Federal program. Filling in for Evan this week, we've got Todd.
Todd Van Sickle, Operations Technology, brought me up from the minor leagues today.
I think that's allowed. You do a good job. You should be in majors all the time.
We'll see if I can throw strikes.
I can't even do that, so you're one up on me.
Well, thank you, Paul. It is a glorious morning. Going to be a great sunrise out here. Looks like a clear day. Nice fall day. Be with Tanner Lee today and our special guest, Ted Wagner from United Ministries. So we'll get to Ted in a few minutes, but it's going to be a great weekend, nice fall weekend. We're kind of in this transition from the summer to the winter, and a little chillier morning this morning, but it's a great chance to go out and check out the fall colors, which have been great, and get some exercise, finish that yard work this weekend. Good time to spend some time outside. So in the news this week, last night we had our dueling presidential town halls. Interesting event going on.
Yes, I didn't watch, but I heard that they were rather interesting.
Yeah, we recorded both, so we could kind of watch both of them. But also there were two baseball games on last night too, so directed attention, and a college football game on. Also this week in the news, Amy Coney Barrett, the Supreme Court hearings, finished those up yesterday. I think the Judicial Committee vote is scheduled for next Thursday, 1 o'clock. Very interesting to watch. I always kind of like watching those procedural things happen, and it's just an interesting time this week, it seems like.
Yes, it does.
On the political side, early voting is going on right now. It's open through Friday, October 30th at the Fulton County Courthouse from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. Saturdays are voting on the 24th and 31st from 8 to 3 p.m. And the last day to early vote is Monday, November 2nd from 8 a.m. to noon. So encourage everybody to get out there to vote. If you're not going to be able to vote on election day, now's the time to do it at the courthouse. Speaking of baseball, it is almost the World Series time.
Yeah.
Our trivia question today. Tanner thinks he may have stumped you on this one, Paul.
Okay.
We'll see if he accept that challenge. With the World Series starting soon, how many current MLB teams have never made it to the World Series? Choices are 1, 3, and 5. Bonus points if you can name the team or teams. So throw my own little challenge at you there.
Well, I might get it right, but I don't know if I can hit the number of teams. I'll try my best, though.
Great. Tanner, what's the sports news this week?
Good morning. Yes, we got quite a bit in sports locally and nationally this week. Of course, it's Friday, so we've got some Friday night football, some Friday night lights going on tonight. We've got the Zebras, who are 0-6, still looking for their first win of the year. They're traveling down south to play McConaughey, who's got a record of 3-3. Guessing the same time for pregame, 6:30?
6:30.
6:30.
Unless they tell us otherwise.
Tippecanoe Valley is having a good season this year. They're 6-2. They travel to Southwood tonight, who's ranked number 3 in 1A. They got an 8-0 record. So that's probably the prime time TRC matchup of the week, I'm guessing.
I'm thinking
Should be a good one. Winnemac has got a record of 4-2. They travel to Triton tonight, who's got a record of 3-4. And Caston, who's got a record of 2-6, is traveling over to Knox, who's got a record of 4-4. So good luck to all those teams tonight who are participating. Got some local college football tomorrow. Thankfully, this is the last weekend, barring anything crazy happening, that Purdue and Indiana aren't going to be playing. So
still undefeated.
Still undefeated so far. So Purdue's got Iowa at home next week, and Indiana's got Penn State at home. Both games at 3:30. Should be exciting.
So is the Rose Bowl still in our sights, right?
Still, so far.
Great.
Nobody's told us otherwise. So, Louisville, who's 1-3, is at number 4. Notre Dame, who's 3-0 tomorrow. Notre Dame is a 17-point favorite in that game.
Wow.
So this will be Notre Dame's 4th home game of the year. They do go on the road next week. And some local National Football League news. The Bears, coming off a good win last week over the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. They're 4-1. They're at the Carolina Panthers, who are 3-2. The Panthers are kind of one of the surprising teams of the league so far. The Panthers are 1.5-point favorites. And the Bengals, who are 1-4, are traveling to the Indianapolis Colts, who are 3-2, coming off a loss at Cleveland. I know that makes you happy, Paul.
It did.
Colts are 8-point favorites, but there's kind of some breaking news within the last hour this morning that the Colts shut down their facilities this morning due to several individuals, they said, testing positive.
Oof.
It's not sure if that's players, staff, combination of both, but we'll see what that means for Sunday's game. I think we probably should get used to these double headers on Monday and the occasional Tuesday night games going forward. But the NFL did kind of say the Pro Bowl's not going to happen this year,
Right.
so they can make an 18th week work if they need to. But I don't really think they want to.
Yeah.
So I think we should get used to just postponing games and moving the schedule around a little bit.
So stay tuned. We're still on track for WRI on Sunday with the Colts as
So
of
far,
right now,
yep.
right?
So far.
Yep.
Pre-game will kick off at noon on Sunday unless something drastically changes between now and 11:30 Sunday.
Yep.
Do you have to come in and fill in then, or?
No, it'll be a lot of quick changes in the automation system to make
Okay.
sure everything runs smoothly and we don't fire a Colts game that isn't there.
Probably a good procedure.
Yes.
And got some MLB playoff updates. Both series are still ongoing as the Astros beat the Rays last night 4-3. So what was once a series 3-0 is now 3-2. I think it's got everybody kind of worried because besides Astro fans, I think everybody's probably a Rays fan right now. And then the Braves took care of business over the Dodgers 10-2 last night, so they got a commanding 3-1 lead on the series. Gotta be honest, I didn't see that coming. I thought the Dodgers would, and they still might end up winning the series, but I thought the Dodgers would win in 5 or 6 games.
They're the best team in baseball the last 3 or 4 years that
And
haven't won the
they just
playoffs.
can't get it done. They're spending a lot of money, and they just can't
Yeah.
can't get it done. The Braves are a young, exciting team to watch. So we could know by tonight. We could have a World Series matchup by tonight. So
Tanner, I saw from our display that there's some cross-country action this weekend. So
yes, both. I'm glad you brought that up, Todd. Both the boys and girls teams got out sectionals. I think the girls got 3rd. I want to say the boys got 5th. So they're both going to be participating in the regionals this weekend.
Nice.
So good luck to them.
Yeah.
And got a bunch of other local results like that going on around the area. I don't have them all written down, so I don't want to forget anybody. But good luck to everybody participating over this weekend. It's a fun time of year, that's for sure, when it comes to fall sports.
Yeah.
Got a few tidbits here this morning, Paul. On this day in 1923, the Walt Disney Company was founded by Walt Disney and his brother Roy Disney. I gotta be honest, I did not know about Roy until
I don't think many people
I
do.
found this fact. So.
Yeah.
On this day in 1950, the first edition of C.S. Lewis's The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe was released in London. You ever read that book?
Yes.
All right. Have you seen the movie?
Yes.
Both versions.
Yes.
Oh,
classic
wow.
literature, the Chronicles of Narnia.
Yep.
Yep.
C.S. Lewis,
Absolutely.
that's in a lot of people's reading lists.
Yep. I think our teacher read it to us in 3rd grade, I believe, and then we watched the original movie before the
Yeah.
new one came out.
Yeah, we were both in school before the new movie.
Yes.
I think there's 7 books total on that, and that's
think you're
really
right.
good. If you haven't read them yet, pick those up. Almost every
Absolutely.
library has them.
Absolutely. Classics for sure. And on this day, 1992, Gilligan's Island's TV pilot, which was filmed in 1964, was first shown on TV on TBS.
Huh.
That got me thinking, Tanner. I was actually fact-checking you yesterday.
Yeah.
When I saw this, I thought,
Okay.
it was on in 64 to 67, How's the Pilot show in 92, and found out basically that they had a different cast basically for the pilot. Only 4 people went on to the TV series cast.
Interesting. I did not know that detail. So
No.
I have watched the old reruns of that show.
Yep. I have them
And I
all on
like
DVD.
it. Do you?
Yep.
Yeah.
In doing my fact-checking, I didn't realize that they were all black and white when I was watching them as a youngster. They had been colorized. I didn't
Interesting.
realize that.
I didn't know that either.
I didn't either.
That's for your useless trivia today.
Well, Paul must be a fan if he has all the DVDs. So.
They're all in color though.
Well, now you know why. And today is World Food Day. It's also Dictionary Day, Department Store Day, Steve Jobs Day, and Bosses Day.
How does Steve Jobs get a whole day?
Well,
I mean, I don't think we have a Bill Gates Day yet.
I will tell you why in a few minutes
He
when we
will.
talk about the business world.
Okay.
Yep.
A pretty significant impact.
Yes, he
Okay.
does. Or did, I should say. Still does, actually.
We have some upcoming events coming soon in the area. The Rochester Kiwanis Club is going to have their 62nd annual turkey dinner. It'll be served from 5 to 7 on Monday, November 2nd, always the day before election. This year it's going to be at the Fulton County Museum with some COVID pandemic adjustments on that, so you'll need to pick up your meals there. Tickets are $10, can be purchased at the door or from any Kiwanis Club member, and the meals are only carry out this year. So a little preview for next week's show. We're going to have somebody from the Kiwanis Club talk about the turkey dinner and Kiwanis Club on next week, so
Cool.
previews of coming attractions.
Hey, I'm always up for a nice preview.
I'm always up for a nice turkey dinner. too.
Well, that too, but
We have some First Federal Savings Bank milestones this week. Mel Schultz, our head teller in Bremen, is retiring today after 42 and a half years at
Wow.
First Federal Savings Bank. Tanner earlier this week, or maybe last week, did an interview with Mel. It's on our social media pages. It's a great interview, kind of talking about Mel's history with the bank, things that have been changing in banking, her feedback. It's very, very interesting, so everybody should have a chance to catch that and check that out. She'll be missed by our First Federal family members and customers, and we offer our best wishes to Mel and say, job well done. It's an awesome thing, 42 and a half years.
yeah.
Money news. The Dow closed down for the third day in a row this week. It erased a 300-point drop from yesterday during the day and closed down only 19.8 points. But it is the third day in a row. From reading out there, it seems like the wisdom is that investors are discouraged by the lack of negotiations for another pandemic relief bill and the uptick in cases worldwide. It's kind of why the stock market is
Yeah.
doing its thing, going up and going down, just like life, right?
Yeah. The roller coaster that is Wall Street.
Southwest Airlines is expanding. They're going to add service out of O'Hara Airport and Houston's George Bush Intercontinental Airport in 2021. Reading in the Wall Street Journal, they also begin service in Miami next month, and the article basically stated that their expansion moves were to get more traffic on board. The numbers on airlines are still way down, and also to compete more directly with their friendly competitors, United Way and American Airlines. Those are hubs for both of those airports. Why is it Steve Jobs Day?
Yes.
Well, the iPhone 12, basically you can start ordering that today, Paul.
Let me get that second mortgage.
That's true. The iPhone 12 mini starts at $699. That starts at $699.
Yeah.
And the top of the line iPhone 12 Pro Max starts at $1,099.
Yeah.
That's as much as some of the mortgage payments we make.
Yes.
So I did a little research on this. Here's why it's Steve Jobs Day. There's over 7 billion people in the world. Does anybody know approximately what percentage of those people have smartphones?
Have smartphones? I'd say 90%.
45% of 7 billion people having smartphones.
I was a little high.
That's okay. And I looked at what is Apple currently has 5 versions of the iPhone out there, and from various prices all the way from the $699 and up. There are estimates that Apple has over 1 billion market penetration with their phones.
Oh, wow.
That's an amazing number. That's why it's Steve Jobs Day.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
Selling
now.
1 billion products out there in the world.
Yeah.
Actually, Todd, they are selling 7 different versions of the iPhone as they introduce the.
Okay.
And then you can get one as low as $349.
Yeah, they have the SE edition.
The SE
Yeah.
edition that they brought out last year is still available, and they will continue. It'll be a new 2020 SE version. So they've got all kinds of opportunities for you to spend your money.
It's good for the bank too because we have great mobile banking services, and that's the way a lot of business is being done now. You can, make payments, transfer money, make deposits. So that's what's good. We might include you, Ted, and I in our technology corner anymore. You know?
Sure, just take a picture of your check and send it to the bank and you've made your deposit.
That's great. That's one of the things
I
we're
tried
going
it with a $20 bill once, it wouldn't accept that, other than that.
Yeah, we do have a second review looking at things like
Yes,
that,
sir.
trying to prevent fraud, so we don't have to get legal involved, you know? Talking about the bank, we're open today until 5 p.m. and open tomorrow 8:30 to noon. We ask that you please wear a mask in accordance with the state mandate still. You can always bank online or with our mobile app, with your iPhone or with your Android device. We take them all. We have our own event coming up soon too. We have a shred day coming up at the Rochester branch on Friday, October 30th from 11 to 2. It'll look different than it has in the past. There'll be some staging so that we kind of keep socially distanced and avoid direct contact. But we've heard from our customers. We weren't able to do our customer appreciation days this year. So Rochester and Winnemac are doing a shred day on Friday, October 30th. So there'll be more information about that. We have a door prize. We'll make it easy for you to sign up for that without having to, not break the social distancing rules, to win a Ring Doorbell Video 2 device. So if you have those extra documents you need to dispose of, we'll be available for the community on Friday, October 30th in Rochester and Winnemac.
Okay.
Speaking of technology, we have Moneypass Network now.
Yes.
The Moneypass Network is where you can take your debit card and go to any of over 32,000 ATMs. I traveled a little bit this summer and I used it in Florida without a surcharge. I used it in Colorado without a surcharge when I was visiting families, so that's really good. It's a great way to save money but also gain access to your money. We have some exciting news also coming out from the bank too. We have some new services that we're rolling out. First Federal Insurance Services, that's something new. You can check that out on our website. Go to the lower right corner of the website page. There's a insurance and investment services, and you can get a quote for your home or your auto or any other type of insurance. So that's something new that we're bringing out. You can also call 833-331-0020 to get a quote also. And we're starting to work with some online chat customer service things during the business hours so our customers can get assistance from the bank through the online chat and not like calling or having to come into the bank. Other exciting news is we're continuing our purchase special program for mortgage loans through October. We are a leader in North Central Indiana with mortgage loans, and we have a great deal right now where you can get a lender credit of $500 towards closing costs plus a discounted interest rate from our published rate for our October purchase special. So we're making lots of loans where we want to help the communities we're in, and you can visit Ben Dalton or Stacy Wilson here in Rochester, and we can provide you with more details. We still offer Simply Free checking accounts, Simply Free business checking accounts, and when you open your checking account, you get a free gift. On a cool morning like this, might be good to throw a little chili in that crock pot before you go to work, and then it's there for you when you come home. It's a mini crock pot. That's one of our more popular gifts we've done over the years.
I'd say. It's a nice little crock pot too.
So if you have any commercial lending needs for businesses, contact Lindy Breeden. We talked about the stock market. For financial services, see Mark Blubaugh or Brian Bell. And you can like us on our social media. Like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, Instagram, LinkedIn, and you can subscribe to our YouTube channel. You'll see that interview with Mel on our YouTube channel, actually. So check that out if you can. Again, we're the only locally owned bank in Fulton County. We don't want to be the biggest, just the best. Borrowers must meet underwriting guidelines. We are FDIC insured and an equal housing lender. Our NMLS number is 399927. Did I get all the nines in there, Tanner?
Yes, you did. 3 of them.
Makes us legal.
Great. So we'd like to welcome our guest today, Ted Wagner.
Thank you.
You're representing United Ministries.
I am this morning. David Smoke, our president, is unable to make it this morning, and he asked me to fill in for him. So here I am.
So what's your role with United Ministries?
Well, I'm a board member and a volunteer board member. We have volunteer workers that do all the hard work, but I sit on the board and help set policy and do some of the background kind of things that board members on local charities do.
Great. Tell us about the history of United Ministries in Fulton County and what are some of its missions?
The United Ministries, nobody's exactly sure where it began. The best rumor I've heard is that back in the 40s and the 50s, our local service clubs, including the American Legion, the VFW, the Kiwanis Club, and so forth, would put together Christmas baskets. But it would kind of hit or miss. Each one would do a separate program. And finally, somebody got the bright ideas to talk to the group of ministers that met once a week to see if they would be interested in taking it over. And so they started, and it became a United Ministries program that the first few years was focused on Christmas baskets. And then we added on a food pantry and an outreach program where we provide rent and utility assistance to people who are down on their luck. And so for well over 50 years now, United Ministries has been an integral part of the charitable side of Fulton County, giving away thousands and thousands of dollars to people that have needs. We provide them with funds we provide them with groceries for food if they're having a problem. We will pay their utility bills for them if they come in, they've fallen behind on their utilities or on their rent. And so that's pretty much the program. It's got three sides of it. And then Joyce Schroff and her family will be kicking off the Christmas basket program. I know she's already working, getting the list together and getting things ready for sign-ups for the Christmas basket program, which will be coming off this, mid-December this year.
Well, that's great. We're talking with Ted Wagner from United Ministries. Their mission basically is their food pantry. And where is that located at?
It's at the Senior Center
Okay.
on 7th and Pontiac. On the north end of the building, the door there, we have the food pantry, and we also have the outreach program going on there.
So the outreach program is for rent and utilities and other emergency needs.
Right.
And you have the Christmas program, basket program.
Yeah,
Thanks
we
for
also-
all you do for the community. That's really good to help out the community.
Well, I appreciate, I'll accept the thanks on behalf of our volunteers. We've got about 10 or 12 people who come in and work with the applicants. We're currently, as a result of the pandemic, working together with the Cross Church. And they are helping us by taking the online applications because the Senior Center was closed for about 6 months. So they would accept the applications and turn them over to our visitors or our volunteers who worked with a program called Charity Tracker to make sure that we're providing assistance to people that are in need, but also to make sure that the help gets where it needs to go.
That's a great example of community synergy, how we're helping each other out, especially in this COVID environment.
Right.
So how would one, if they have need of services, how do they approach United Ministries?
Right now, if you have a need, if you're behind on your rent, if you're behind on your utilities, and as we're coming up to all the various deadlines, utility shutoffs were forbidden by government during the pandemic. Well, we're coming up to the end of that period of time. Evictions for not paying the rent. So as you're coming up to there, we're finding a lot of people who are having some needs. If you work by going to the Cross at the corner of 3rd and Main and meet with them Monday, Thursday, and Friday morning, I think it is, to fill out an application, they will get that to the right people, and you'll know within a matter of a couple of days whether or not we'll be able to provide you some assistance.
Well, that's a great service to the community. I know you're a United Way agency, Fulton County United Way, and you get some funds from the local United Way.
We get funds from local United Way. We also have about 20 different churches, a few more than 20 different churches who see United Ministries as a part of their missions program, some of the local missions, and we get contributions from, like I said, roughly those 20 churches. And then we have another 40 or 50 individuals who have United Ministries on their charitable contributions list, and we receive funds from those people as well.
So we know that COVID's impacted the accessibility, and you're working through the cross to make sure that's available.
Right.
Has it impacted your funding?
It has impacted funding. Our donations are down almost a third from our normal donors. We don't know why. We don't ever bother people calling up and say, hey, you sent us, $100 last year. You haven't sent us anything. What's wrong? But so our regular donations are down about 30% year to date this year, which is of course a concern because our needs are up. The good news is, and you say we're a United Way agency, there's a program that United Way and the Fulton County Community Foundation are working together with for a special grant made by the Lilly Endowment of about $125,000.
That is correct, $125,000 to the cooperation of the foundation and United Way, and I know some of those funds are going out to United Ministries too.
Yes, United Ministries has already received two $15,000 grants out of that gift from Lilly, and we've got another application in, and we're looking forward to receiving it because frankly we've spent things down. We're pretty close to down to bare bones at the moment. So if that comes in, we'll be in good shape for roughly another month. We've been spending about $15,000 a month instead of the normal $7,000 or $8,000 a month that we had spent previously.
So the need is up.
The need is up.
And the funds are shorter basically, which is.
And like I said, with the evictions moratorium coming to an end, we're going to see a lot of that. And just so you know, we don't hand the check to the tenant. We work with the tenant and the landlord to make sure that the funds go where they
Or you pay the utility bills directly, things like that.
Pay the utility bills to Duke or REMC or whoever.
So how does one take advantage of this grant money through the United Way and Foundation? Is that a different application process?
The United Way Foundation money is required to be COVID related. So you have to have lost your job due to COVID, or you have to increase your expenses due to COVID. We have people who had to stay home with their children last March and April, and so they couldn't work, so they had to stay home, and we've provided funds for those. We also have a number of people when the unemployment shot from 3% to 10%. We've got 3 times as many people out of work, and they didn't have an alternative job to move to. You lose a job, oftentimes you can find something else, but there for a period of time you couldn't find anything else, and so we work with those folks as well. Do what we can and work our volunteers a little extra harder and make some other changes. Now I do need to tell you that the Lafayette Diocese also recently, just last week, gave us an $18,000 grant.
That's great news.
Out of an application made by our local St. Joe Catholic Church for this very same kind of relief. And so, we've about half the money we've had has come from these kinds of bigger gifts to offset the fact that we've lost a lot of the little gifts.
Well, that's great. I represent United Way on their campaign chairman, and we have concerns going into this year's campaign. So,
sure.
If you have interest in United Ministries, we're having the United Way campaign. You can donate through your pledge there, but also you can contact United Ministries directly, and we encourage you to do that. How would someone donate directly to United Ministries?
Well, if you write a check to the United Ministries and send it to the Senior Center at 7th and Fulton, not 7th Pontiac, then it will get there, and they will hold it there at the front desk. And when we come in, the 3 mornings a week our people come in, they'll make sure we get it, and it'll go right to work helping some of our neighbors.
Are you looking for volunteer needs also?
We're always looking for volunteers. Our volunteers, for the most part, are retirees, which is why when they closed down the senior center, we didn't find that. We've got some people going at the north door, like I said, there for food pantry. But yes, if somebody has a day a week or a half a day a week that they'd like to volunteer, just contact United Ministries.
I think that number is 574-223-4802. Is that
4802, that's right.
Great.
Yes.
Well, thank you, Ted, for your time this morning. We appreciate you sharing information about United Ministries. There's definitely needs in the community. COVID has kind of amplified some of those needs, and so you do great things with the food pantry, the outreach efforts, and the Christmas basket project is going to get rolling really fast right now. So
Right.
thank you for all you do for the community and in your partnership with things like the Community Foundation, United Way, and the Cross. It takes a village to serve our community, and everybody's trying to help each other out. And thank you for your time, Ted, and thank you for all that United Ministries does.
Well, I appreciate it, but again, I say, don't give me too much thanks, because I'm not doing all the work. The work is done by the volunteers, the people who show up week after week with their heart open and their hand out. So,
Great, thank you, Ted, for your time.
thank you.
Trivia question, Paul. Have you had a chance to think about that?
I have.
With the World Series starting soon, how many current MLB teams have never made it to the World Series?
I'm gonna guess one.
Tanner, I don't know.
I can't stump them.
For bonus points, pat on the back. Well, we can't do pat on the back because of COVID.
Right.
Mhm.
What team is that?
No clue.
The Seattle Mariners. That kind of surprised me a little bit.
That's surprising me too. Yeah.
Ichiro and all those great years, and Randy Johnson for them for a while.
Okay.
The Indians have been in it though, so that's
Yes.
Well, thank you everyone for your time today. We're going to close with some words of wisdom. Life is 10% what happens to you and 90% how you react to it. That's from
All right.
Charles Swindoll, an American clergyman.
Yes.
It's a great words to close by.
It absolutely is, and we'll see you guys next week for the first federal program.
Have a great weekend, everyone. Thank you.